Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your Chief Security Fanatic here, and in general security news, I'm just asking the question, why are vendors still using default passwords? It's 2023, people. We should be better than this, and some brands are, but if you didn't know, here are some of the default passwords for some of the top brands that you may be using in your home or place of business. So Canon, you've got their printers, cameras, all of that. Their default passwords are root and camera. Really that simple. Foscam, a lot of people have their camera systems. Their password is admin, or you can just leave it blank depending on the model. Panasonic, admin, or 12345, again, depending on the model. Same with Samsung, different models, but their passwords are root, admin, or 4321. How about Toshiba? It's root or IKWD, again, depending on model. Ubiquiti. A lot of people have their wireless access points, UBNT, all lowercase, and so far everything has been lowercase. Linksys is just admin. Netgear is just password. Belkin is just admin. HP is just admin. HP System, or I, the letter I, C. And if you think for the record that I've memorized any of these, you would be mistaken because I got all of these in seconds off of Google. Now, here's the thing. In assessments, when we are doing cybersecurity assessments and risk assessments, we continuously see default passwords being used on all of these devices inside networks. This is insecure, and it is considered a security risk because anybody that breaks in can then simply log into a device and potentially hijack it. But don't take my word for it. You can just ask the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, here in the United States. Citing quote-unquote years of evidence, the agency said this past Friday that manufacturers need to, quote, take ownership of customer security outcomes, end quote, by not basically passing the buck to customers. And it's really that simple, because people don't change their passwords. Quote, studies by CISA show that the use of default credentials, such as passwords, is a top weakness that threat actors exploit to gain access to systems, including those within U.S. critical infrastructure. And quite frankly, they're not wrong. Look at the Mirai virus. Now, a few years ago, before the pandemic, around 2016 or so, we now know it was created by Russian intelligence. Essentially, attackers were looking for open IoT devices on the internet and just hitting it with the 50 top passwords for IoT devices, and they were able to break into millions of IoT devices. Think DVRs, cameras, routers, etc., and start weaponizing those to launch bandwidth attacks against major infrastructure. We still see variants of the Mirai virus today. Now, vendors don't have to, for the record, use default passwords. They can either force the user to create a password as soon as the device gets plugged in for the first time and fires up to configure itself. They can also use things like randomized passwords. So every computer or every device, has a unique serial number from the maker. Why not make that the password by default and then force the change? Because you can also have a device force a password change. So if your default password is password or admin, as soon as the user logs that in, the very next prompt is create a new password. These are things that are very easy to achieve for virtually any device and every single maker out there, yet we're not doing it. And we're creatures of habit, and it's a very serious problem. And so if you've got basically IoT devices in your life, whether it's a smart TV, wireless access points, a printer, all those things, log into it. Change the password. Use something unique. Because quite frankly, if somebody gets into your network, and it happens all the time, there's a successful hack every 39 seconds or so per studies, you don't want to be the next victim. And you don't want to be the next victim simply because somebody typed admin and got into your network. So that is your news of the day, and make sure you keep yourself secure. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.